So the big question is this: how do most agents who struggle to get the information that most successful agents hoard to themselves grow and prosper without this information? That's the big question, and this video cast is the answer. Welcome to Real Estate Rockstars. I'm your host, Pat Hyben. All right, Rockstar Nation, boy, we have a super duper guest. Man, we are lucky. This guy is one of the top, if not the top real estate agent coach in the world, traveling around the world just doing audiences of thousands of people. So how many books have you sold, Michael?
300,000 plus, brother.
300,000 books sold, which is a hell of a lot of books. I mean, like my book, which I'm happy with the amount of sales, is like 25,000. So this will give you, he's like 97% more books than I sold.
Listen, it's not me. I have to throw that out. I mean, listen, it's people like you, and it's all those ambassadors out there who are literally sharing it and spreading the word. So I'm not buying them. So I can't take any credit of that, right?
Yeah, I mean, somebody's buying them, right? So that's awesome. So 7L, if you haven't bought it, you want to buy it now. You want to be, 100% in there. Definitely must have book. But anyways, Michael's back on the show, and I'm excited. We're going to talk about how to get business partying. So why don't you give everybody a little rundown on yourself, Michael, in case they don't know you.
Yeah, so I appreciate that. I am Pat Hyben's former assistant, and no, I'm just kidding. But here's the thing: I got into the business way back in 1999, 2000, and very rapidly decided that the way for business for me was referrals. So I focused on referrals. In my third year of business, I did 187 transactions by myself. My wife did help a little bit, but she was also rocking and rolling at a full-time job. And that was 100% referrals. I did get a few through open house. I did get a few through that kind of thing, sign calls. But basically it was a focus, 100% of my focus was on referrals. And then netted $1 million, grossed 1.35 million, did 40.1 in production. And then just the next 8 to 10 years, got over 500 referrals a year, did over 200 to 255 plus transactions. And it was awesome. And honestly, I didn't even think I was doing anything special until a guy named Howard Brenton approached me about being a Star Power Star of the Month. Did that interview, and then everybody was coming to me with, wow, repeat and referral is a part of the business I really want to develop. And I discovered that, hey, we had a system that a lot of people could really put into play. And I knew I needed to write a book, and I didn't write a book. And then I died on December 18th, 2007. I flatlined for 37 seconds, heard my own heartbeat flatline, came to with a heart surgeon putting in a temporary pacemaker. And that night in ICU, in intensive care, I outlined what became 7L, because one moment that I was thinking about is, man, the wisdom that I had in my head about generating referrals was almost gone, right? It needed to be shared, bigger than me and myself. It needed to be shared. Wrote 7L, it came out in 2010, became a bestseller in 7 days, thanks to literally Pat Hyben and the Star Power Star group, because they bought over 700 books at an opening that I did in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, of all places.
Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Yeah. And then it's been a #1 bestseller in my most personal category, which is real estate sales. It's been #1 for over 7 straight years now, which I'm very proud of. But what I'm more proud of is how we got there, which is entirely through word of mouth and referrals. No advertising, no buying lists, no sharing lists, no affiliates. And honestly, none of that's bad. It just become kind of a point of pride, is just, let's see how far this can go entirely by people spreading the word about 7L. And it's been terrific. You know, we're 7 years later. I'm thinking, you know, year 3, the book is going to, you know, fall off the table. But it's actually picked up steam and is continuing to picking up steam.
7 years. Wow.
Very blessed.
Yeah. Time flies, huh, buddy?
I'm sorry. Time flies, man. 7 years. And that's, you know, the generosity generation it's just, I'm so glad I did this, because I've met some of the most wonderful, like-minded people in the world. And, you know, people who no longer want average or mediocre. You know, they want high levels of success in their life and high level people in their life. And they thought they were doing it alone. And now they're finding out, dang, you know what? I can be number one in my office and do it this way. And the proof is in the numbers. So I'm having a lot of fun, man.
What are you spending your time doing nowadays?
You know what? I'm going to write my next book. It's going to be called Pajama Day Referrals. So, you know what? So I spend my time training, coaching, and speaking, and traveling. Right? You know the travel gig. You know, you speak for 2 or 3 hours and maybe a day, but you travel for 5, 6, 7 hours in some cases, which is why I moved to Atlanta. You know. So that's it. I mean, I run Referco, right? Referco, and we're the world's foremost authority in business referrals, and we don't just do real estate, right? We help all businesses generate lots of referrals through our event-based marketing system, and that's what we're talking about today. So I'm excited.
That's awesome. I love how you know exactly what you are.
Yeah.
And I love how you're expanding out. I know you did. You start your main gig is real estate agents, and your book is about an agent and a loan officer.
Right.
And I know you did well. I know you brought me to the mortgage marketing a gig in Vegas, and we met Tony Robbins together. And you were killing it with the mortgage industry. What other industries are you training for referrals now?
Yeah, so financial planning, insurance agents, warranty, chiropractor, lots of doctors, right? Dentists and chiropractors especially. And then entrepreneurs and small business owners. Imagine a networking group, right? And a networking group is a different entity, which I've loved working with, because, you know, they're in real estate, you know, 100,000 is very, 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 very doable, right? And for the entrepreneur and small business owner who's a sign company or they're selling water purifiers or whatever it may be, is their goal is 100,000 the first year, right? So I've really loved getting to know and help that group of people, because there's not a lot of trainers who are there to help, just because the monetary background isn't there. So I'll tell you what, we've loved helping everybody from the real estate is still our primary business. It's 75% of what we do. So, you know, it's still that's where my platform is. That's where my passion is, quite frankly. The other branches have just come just simply through the realtors, right? The realtor has said, man, you got to listen to this guy, or you got to do this.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Well, that's incredible. So, okay. So let's get into some nitty gritty here. Let's give our audience here some meat and potatoes, some stuff that they could write down and use and implement tomorrow to make more commissions. We're going to talk about, how to party. So what do you got for me?
Yeah. So here's the thing, right? Is what I'd like to share during this session is I would like to share the best direct mail piece you could ever send to a client or database, right? During this podcast, during this interview, I want to share the single best email you could ever send to your database. During this webinar, during this course, I want to share the single best call you could make to your database. I want to share with you the single best text message that you could send to your database. In fact, I'm going to share with you the single best Facebook message that you could share with your database. So I want to share with you the number one video that you could send to your database. So that's lofty, right? All I want to do is share the number one way to communicate with your database in all forms of communication.
Right. And is it all the same thing?
Great segue, right? What and so how beautiful, this is like the unifying theory and application. It's kind of like in mathematics, there's these unifying, so it's like they're all the same thing, right? The number one single call you could ever make to your database, single one number text message you could send to your database, the single best direct mail piece, the single best text message, the single best handwritten note you could ever write to your database, the single best Facebook message, all of that is an invitation to an event. It's an invitation to an event. Yeah. So an email, a market report. Are you kidding me? Who the heck is reading a market report by email? Nobody. Text message. Happy Thanksgiving. Are you kidding? Okay, that's good, but let's get better.
Might as well send
right? And better is, an invitation to an event. And here's the beauty of what I'm training now is what I call referral fusion. Right? It's like we know we have all these things we should be doing with our database, right? We know we should be calling. We know we should be emailing. We know we should be text messaging. And please, dear God, don't broadcast text message. But we know we should be Facebook messaging or using social media. We know that we should be doing all these things with our database, but we don't do it because we don't know what to say or we don't know what to write. Well, what we've done is we've just simplified it to the bottom line, which is the best reason to write is to invite them to an event. The best reason to call is to invite them to an event.
Yeah, but what are you saying? Like every Friday night have a party at your house, or
No, great question. And here's what. So let me tell you a story, and then I'll get right into like that thought. Right? So I stood next to a girl in third grade. I moved to Gardner, Kansas, of all places, right? We were very, very poor. My dad was a teacher, made $2,500 a year. My mom stayed home with 5 kids. We didn't have a lot, right? But I stood next to this girl who was well-to-do. Her dad was an attorney, and she dressed really nice, and she smelled really nice, which is a whole, she stood right next to me. So I kind of liked her. And the thing is her name was right after my name in alphabetical order. So third grade, fourth grade, what do? You line up in alphabetical order, and then you go in, right? And so I developed this kind of crush on her. And I even through middle school, I noticed that we were becoming more like friends. There wasn't, we didn't go with each other or whatever you do in middle school. But then my freshman year came up, and I noticed something in the chemistry between the two of us changed. And I'd be walking down the hall. We'd cross each other's paths, and we'd wave, and we'd give each other a low five. But as the first quarter of the school just kind of went by, as that pass was a more lingering handhold, right? As we passed each other. So I was just like, man, there's really something.
Let me get this straight. A lingering handhold,
it was just like we did. It was like a low five that became almost a handhold, but we were going opposite directions. So, so it was subtle and really, really, really like body tingling, right? Freshman year in high school, come on, and so I really thought there was something going on here. And then October came around, right? And I came to school on a Monday. I remember it like it was yesterday. I came to school on a Monday, and during first period, I learned that Christine. Oh, sorry, I said her name. Oops.
Whoa.
So Christine, that's actually not her real name. It is, but
probably
let's just say it's not.
Boise, Idaho.
Right. So Christine was, she essentially. I found out from a friend of mine that she had a party Saturday.
Whoa.
Right? But guess who wasn't invited?
What do you think about the word toolbox? What is a toolbox? A toolbox is a box full of tools that you use to build something great. At Real Estate Rockstars, we've created our own free toolbox. So everybody that comes on the show as a guest brings a tool with them, and we plow them all into this toolbox, and we give it away for our viewing audience to basically use as they wish. Everything we put in there is an actionable item that can be downloaded, can be printed, can be used immediately. And we got things like scripts and dialogues, checklists for teams, checklists to keep agents accountable, referral forms that are filled out at settlement to get referrals by your buyers and sellers. Everything you could think of that you could use on a regular basis about real estate is included in this toolbox. And it's helping agents worldwide sell more houses and make their jobs a lot easier and processes much more efficient. And the thing is, it's absolutely free. All you got to do is go to hibandigital.com/toolbox or text the word toolbox to 444-999. That's toolbox 444-999. Do it now.
Michael J. Maher.
This guy, right? So I was not invited. And so how did I feel, Pat? How do you feel when you really like somebody, or you feel like you're part of a group, but you're
heartbroken?
Heartbroken. Oh my God, that's a great way to put it. Heartbroken, crushed, right? Crushed,
Like
just feeling horrible.
Into wine.
Yeah. And so I saw her at lunch, and we really didn't meet eye contact or anything like, but we ate lunch. And as I was walking to the class, I heard a voice from me, and it was Christine's. And so I turned around, and I was like, okay, this is, what is this about? Obviously she didn't like me as much as I thought she did. And she came right up to me, and she just said, "Hey, Michael, I just wanted to let you know that we just had a couple of my girlfriends over on Saturday, and then it just, people got invited, and it just grew kind of spontaneously, to a group of 15 to 20. And it turned out my parents loved it, and it was a lot of fun. So I wanted you to know that we're having another one Saturday, and we're going to get a group of just like 12 to 15 people together to just hang out. We'll play some catch. We'll goof around, that kind of thing. And bottom line is, I want you to be there. So you're invited to the party this Saturday, right? So how do I feel now?
Well, you're kind of like that guy, and I've been this guy, you know what I mean? Like, that the people sent out their wedding invitations 2 months ago, and then you get an invitation about a week before the wedding. You made the C list for the wedding, like you're that level of friends because that many people canceled. So then they come to you. I think that's probably how you felt, right?
I have to tell you, I felt ecstatic. Right?
I mean, like, go to the wedding when I get it a week ahead of time.
Yeah. At least you invited me to your wedding, right? I mean, so the bottom line was, I was ecstatic, right? I mean, inside or outside. Outside, I played it cool, right? I was a freshman in high school. I was like, yeah, I'll come, right? Inside, I was bursting at the seams, right? There was a part of me that wanted to get it down on my knees and go, thank you, God. Oh, my God, that's so good, right? So I was invited, right? And so I went that weekend, and actually something kind of started to develop in that relationship. But that is such
I thought you were going to say that Biff answered the door.
Yeah, no, but there is a secondary story that if we have time to tell, I'll tell you the secondary story about what happened about 6 months later. But that's a story for another day, maybe. So the bottom line is that please notice that what happened here is that I essentially went from thinking that I was outside the circle, right, and not included, to now I was inside the circle, right? Inside her circle, and felt fantastic, felt ecstatic, felt included, and felt important and special. I did feel special and important to be included in her group because it was a very special and important group, right? So it's one of those where, so the first thing that we need to remember is that referrals happen inside the circle. Referrals happen inside the circle.
Referrals happen inside the circle. Okay, I got you.
Referrals happen where people feel ecstatic. They feel special and important.
That's where people feel ecstatic. Okay, this is some good stuff.
Yeah. So
referrals happen inside the circle. Referrals happen where people feel ecstatic
and special and important. Right. That's the most important thing.
Special and important.
So how do we make people feel special and important? We invite them to events, right? And we're in real estate,
Put
right?
them inside the circle.
That's right. put them inside the circle, right? And the bigger the inside circle is, the more referrals you will get, right? And the more powerful the inside circle is, the more referrals you will get. So
like
it's one of the, so it's one of those where, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Because you're not inviting everybody, right? Again,
Well,
back to the wedding thing, right?
That's
you're
right.
Inviting a select few.
Depends on which yearly appreciation plan you're running. We have 2 yearly appreciation plans, right? We have an all YAP. YAP is just yearly appreciation plan acronym, right? YAP. The all YAP is the yearly appreciation plan for your entire database, right? So this is, think of database client appreciation events, right? At your office or at a venue, or for some people it's movie day.
Invite everybody.
Applies to everybody.
Come to your office, get a free pumpkin for Halloween.
That's right.
And get some cookies and, wear your costume. We'll have a costume contest, whatever. That's
maybe even
yearly
for Pi Day
party.
That's right. Like a Pi Day, right? Right now I'm very, very Pi Day because we're going to have 350 of our Catalyst coaching clients running Pi Days over the next 3 months. So I'm like very Pi Day oriented. So it's one of those where, like a Pi Day, right?
Pi Day. And a lot of people do Pi Days for Thanksgiving, right?
That's right. It's the Monday for us. It's what we teach is the Saturday or the Monday or Tuesday before Thanksgiving, and
you're giving out a free pie.
That's right. And that could be it, right? But this has evolved into some of our catalysts who have been doing this for 2 or 3 years with us are going to have a setup for Santa, and they will take holiday photos for Christmas cards, right? And in one case, we have a guy who's actually doing the Christmas cards, right? So he'll actually produce the Christmas cards for everybody who wants to do it. Huh?
Awesome. So you're giving them, so the YAP is basically once a year, you're giving them something, they're coming to you, but you're inviting everybody, right? You're inviting your whole database. You don't care. The more the merrier, right?
That's right. Invite leads. Invite internet leads, invite everybody. So this is the all YAP, right? So we're going to invite everybody. And then I want just to clarify, there's the all YAP and then there is the top YAP, right? The top YAP is the yearly appreciation plan for the top people in your database. These are for your, what we call ambassadors, right? These are for your top 150 or top 25 or top 50, whatever you have, right? Let's say top 100. So there's the top YAP. It's the yearly appreciation plan, which is essentially your business plan for that group of people. Okay. And then there's the all YAP, which is
VIPs.
What?
These are your VIPs.
Top YAP is VIP. I should call it VIP. Yeah, but top YAP sounds better.
What do you do? What are you giving the top YAP? How often?
Yeah.
Give me an example.
All right. So
several.
Yeah. So something you mentioned a second ago, Pat, is that so once a year you do the following, right? And I want you to know, I believe that one of the biggest mistakes that people make is not having any client appreciation events. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes. The second biggest mistake is having one, right? So we've studied this, right? We've had people do 1 or 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 12 events, right? We've had it all. And scientifically, here's what we've discovered.
Yeah, break it down.
Yeah, this is I mean, this is life-changing, right? Is that business changing? Maybe not life-changing, but the bottom line is you want three. The magic number is 3 client appreciation events. 3, right? This is harder to do for me now. Is that arthritis? 3, right?
Make sure
it's like okay, 3, right? 3 is okay. How's that?
Read between the lines.
Yeah. Hey, wait a second. Don't be doing that, right? M, right? All right. So,
West side.
Yeah.
All right. So, no, this is M from here. See, this could be your gang, right?
Yeah, Michael Maher. Yo, M. All right. M. We are ranging on the topic.
Okay, so 3.
Yeah.
So what do you?
So 3.
Some exact specifics, please. Like what? I'm listening to you. I'm like, all right, 3. That's a lot, man. It's very expensive. Yeah. How am I going to give free pies away 3 times? Yeah. What am I going to do for these VIP lists or these super yappers?
All right. So the 3 is the all YAP implementation, right? And I want you to know that no matter what you give away, it doesn't matter. The event actually doesn't matter as much as the communication around the event. And that's a very, very important topic, because what you're going to do is you're going to have 3 events. You're going to have a spring event, a summer event, and a fall event. And you know, we've got people in Canada, we've got people in Florida, everything in the Bahamas. And it's like, you know, spring, summer, and fall means different things for people in different parts of the country. So pick an event that makes sense for that. But here's the thing. Now we're focusing on the all gap here. So all of your database, you are going to call, you're going to email, which takes 5 minutes in today's world. You're going to do a video email, which takes 3 minutes to do the video, and we actually give you the script on that. It's just an invitation to an event, right? Video message, and then the video email is sent out. That takes, you know, 8 minutes total. You're going to text message your top 50 or your top 100. You're going to call your top 50 to your top 100. And you're going to be inviting them to a client appreciation event. And please notice that when you do this, you are emailing, sending a save the date postcard with a magnet. You are doing all these communication touches for the event. And then afterwards, you're going to have at least one more touch where you are thanking the attendees. You are telling the non-attendees, hey, we missed you. And you're also following up from the referrals that are being generated from these events. So with that, so 3 events, you get about 10 to 12 touches per event for everybody in your database. And
10 to 12 touches
yep.
per event for everybody in their database. Wow.
Now, yeah, so it's more like 7 at the very least. But the ones who communicate with you, they RSVP, yes, I'm going to come by and get a pie. Right,
then you don't spam them.
Confirm.
They said yes already.
Confirm. Yeah, confirm. And then the day of, hey, friendly reminder that we're going to be at the office between 4 and 6 p.m. today. Please come by. We've got apple cider. We've got pumpkin spice lattes. We've
really making sure they come, because I think a lot of people do these and they send out an invitation to a picnic or a free pie or whatever, and then they just let the chips fall where they may. That's 1. You're saying do as many as 12.
That's right. Total. Now that's also included in the follow-up, right? So post-event.
Yeah.
Now realize the event.
I love it. I mean, you're 10xing it, right?
Yes.
If you're going to do this event, if you're going to be there, you're going to have a Santa Claus there, you're going to have pies or pumpkins or whatever there, you might as well try to get as many of the people on the list there as possible.
That's exactly right. Because the beauty of this is that this is all also, well, I mean, there's a lot of things. The first thing is we're instantly conquering the biggest fear with the best solution. I mean, when's it ever get better than that? The biggest fear is people won't show up.
Right.
So the best solution is more communication. Well, and not only is that the best solution for the event, it's actually the best solution for you, and it's also the best solution for your database, right? Because they're not going to unsubscribe from an invitation to an event. They'll unsubscribe from a market report or a newsletter that doesn't have anything to do with them, right? But they won't unsubscribe to an event invitation, right? It's like you're taking them from outside the circle to inside the circle.
Right.
And you got to, we're realtors. We're out there. They see our pictures. We see, half our pictures are us with an arm around someone and having a blast, right? And all this time, our database friends are seeing us on Facebook having all these parties, these awards, these events that we go to, these meetings we go to, and they're not invited until now. Now they're invited.
I want you to think about the word toolbox. What is a toolbox? A toolbox is a box full of tools that you use to build something great. At Real Estate Rockstars, we've created our own free toolbox. So everybody that comes on the show as a guest brings a tool with them, and we plow them all into this toolbox, and we give it away for our viewing audience to basically use as they wish. Everything we put in there is an actionable item that can be downloaded, can be printed, can be used immediately. And we got things like scripts and dialogues, checklists for teams, checklists to keep agents accountable, referral forms that are filled out at settlement to get referrals by your buyers and sellers. Everything you could think of that you could use on a regular basis about real estate is included in this toolbox. And it's helping agents worldwide sell more houses and make their jobs a lot easier and processes much more efficient. And the thing is, it's absolutely free. All you got to do is go to hibandigital.com/toolbox or text the word toolbox to 444-999. That's toolbox 444-999. Do it now. Wow, fascinating. So you have an event, right? Let's use Facebook as an example, but you can also do Evite. You can also do
Eventbrite.
What's that?
Eventbrite is another service. Just make it private.
And then let's just say it's Facebook. They're in Facebook. They're invited in Facebook. Even if they can't go, they click maybe or can't come, out of town. Thank you, Michael. But what you're saying is, the more people that talk in there and the more you're posting in there, they're still going to know about it. They're still going to get notifications, right? Because they don't want to like bail from it and unsubscribe. We really can't, I don't think. Or maybe, I don't know. Yeah.
They can. But the thing is they don't
tell everyone, and then they'll look like morons.
Here's the thing. Here's the beauty of is there's a lot of people in the world who will never attend an event. But I want to remind you something. They all want to be invited. Everyone wants to be invited. And the beauty, think about that for a second. So you could have an event where you invite everyone, but you only have to pay for 100 or 150. Or, you know what I mean? You only pay by the numbers, right? It reminds me of one of our first parties we had, or first events we had, was my wife's birthday is on April 22nd, which is also Earth Day. So in the spring, we had to come to the office and get a reusable bag with a sapling in it, right? And we were like, hey, listen, use the reusable bag to save the earth and use it for your groceries. Now this is before environment was really like the hit thing, right? So it was a branded bag with us and our sponsors on it. Then on the front, it was a kind of a cool logo of, Save the Earth Day. And it was green bag, and then the sapling went in there. And Arbor Day is typically that same week, right? So we were like, hey, listen, reusable bag, and then plant a tree with your family in your yard or somewhere where you can plant it, and just plant it, right? Which I have to tell you, in hindsight, we just did it because it was very earth friendly. But now we have people 17 years later, that tree is 50, 60 feet tall, right? And it's a constant reminder in their yard of the Maher team and the Kansas City home team. Now, here's what's amazing about this, right? So the first year we do this is I invite everybody I know, which is about 250 people. I know that's not, for a lot of people here, it's not very many people, but at the time I went from 50 to 250 in 1 year, right? I met a lot of people. And so Pat, we had 7 people RSVP, 7. So I'm thinking, 200, and you got to realize I'm just building my business. This is my second year in the business. And so those 7 people, what's interesting is 3 of those happen to be past clients, which I thought was cool. But 7. And so here's what's amazing about that is they came to the office, one at a time or whatever, and they got into our little conference room. We just had a little cubicle conference room, and there on the table were 7 or 6 or 5 or 4, of the bags with the sapling, right? And they were like, "Wow, good thing I came when I did. I got one of the last 7." Right? And I'm like, yeah. I am so happy that you came when you did, because you did get one of the last you 7.
Out, right?
Yeah, you lucked out. I mean, it's been amazing how fast and these things. Yeah. So, and then I would hey, thanks for coming. And I would escort them right out because I didn't want them to know nobody else showed up for the next 30 minutes. Right. That's the beauty of this is I touched 250 people, but only had to pay for 10 bags. Actually, I had to buy a 25 minimum. So I had 25 bags, which I could use for other services, right? And 25 saplings, right? So it's like, it cost me maybe, I don't know, it was like $150 to $200 to have this event, but I touched 250 people. I had so many people afterwards that were just like thanking me for, hey, listen, we were out of town. It was spring break. I couldn't make it. And unfortunately, it was spring break during that year in Kansas City. So I did miss out on a lot of people who did stuff. But the thing is now, right now we have a pie day. We have 350 to 400 pies. And now they come in and they see 400 pies and they grab one or stuff. But I want them to stay. Right. I'm saying, hey, listen, thank you so much. Hey, take your pictures over here. Make sure you check out the Mayor's Christmas tree. There's a gift under it for your kids. That kind of thing. Right. And it's one of those where I want them to stay because I want them to see all the other people. In the original, it was like, hey, thank you for coming. Right. See you later. Right. Now I want social proof. Right. Yeah. I don't want negative social proof, to work against me where there's only 7. I want now positive social proof is, hey, listen, Michael has a lot of past clients.
List us out some ideas. Like, can you list us out? Like, there you go. Like exact things we can do.
Like exactly what to do every week of the year, 52 weeks in a row.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that list, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on hibandigital.com/party. Michael's been on the show so many times. I don't know if it's 3, 4, or 5. So I'm going to just put party, PARTY, hibandigital.com/party. And there's 52. What is there? 52 reasons to have a party on there as a real estate?
No. It is actually the yearly appreciation plan for your entire database, broken down week by week. It's a 52-week plan on how to communicate with your database. Like this week 1 of January, do the January call. Week 2 of January, do the January call. And then it's like February 28th to March 4th, you need to do your email video invitation for your spring event. For March 19th, pick a week of the year.
November 7th.
November 7th. So that is going to be November 5th through the 11th. You're going to be doing confirmation calls and text for the Pi Day. Right?
What else is on there besides Pi Day?
So the summer event, which we have done the little Yeti cooler cups, right? And filled them full of candy and things like that. Something small that you don't want it to be something they have to open their trunk for, right? It's like something they can carry.
So you're going to give them a Yeti cooler?
Not the big giant Yeti cup, right? Yeti cup, right? Yeti cup.
Okay.
Here's the thing, right? The best thing wasn't even done by us. It was done by one of our in my opinion, the best thing. They have little 6-pack coolers. Pat.
Yeah, go ahead.
They have little 6-pack coolers.
Yeah.
Little that you can brand on one side and have like a cool saying on the other side.
Yeah.
And they actually hold a 6-pack. They zip on the top. They're fairly nice and they're very inexpensive. So one of our catalysts did that. We're going to start doing that.
Give them this. I think you should give them an igloo cooler or one of the styrofoam coolers with this on it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, to save a lot of money. So okay, so you give them the Yeti cup, and you get them to the event. Give me a couple more.
So the spring event I just gave you, right? The reusable bag with the sapling. It could be anything that they come to the office for, right? It could be something as simple as a grand opening. We have a gal, Carol Ann Bright, who is a catalyst and been a catalyst for a couple of years. She's doing a 25th year anniversary party, right? It's her 25th year in the business. So nice. Listen, we're going to eliminate all excuses from having an event. You should have an annual event for the month or day that you got into the business, right? This is my 5th year, or this is my 7th year, or whatever it may be, and and if it's your first year, have a launch party, right? Don't even call it the first year in business. Call it a launch party, right? Or a grand opening, right? Can you have a grand opening for your business if it's just you've never done a transaction? But yes, you are a business. So have a launch party. And I will tell you, launch parties is probably the reason I'm in front of you right now, is because it's a great way to, it's like the rocket boost on a rocket, right? The most important time to have all the energy and fuel is at the beginning, right? So that's the power of a launch party.
And what are you launching though?
Your business. And so in that case, your business. Now here's the other thing, right? Is you could bring on new team members and have a grand opening or a launch party for them. And so even if you've been in 12 years,
a launch party of your new by referral only business, right? Where from now on, I only take referral, or a launch party of your new internet campaign or whatever you want to do.
Anything, right? I mean, listen, any reason to party is a good reason. The biggest thing I want to really emphasize here though, is that I don't care if you're 0 transactions or 1,000 transactions. This is the answer for the database because of this. It's highly leverageable. It's highly leverageable. In fact, to this day, I leverage this in Kansas City. I haven't been in Kansas City in 5 years. But when do I go back? I go back for my events, and I meet 150, 250, 300 people at a time. And so, you know, it's a way to infuse energy into the marketplace, even though I'm 1,000 miles away, 5 years removed, right?
So you only so on your real estate team that you still make money on.
Yeah.
You just pop into Kansas City.
Yeah.
What, twice a year, and that's your
3
time
times
invested face to face.
3 times a year for all the clients. That's right. So magic number's 3, and it's also, it's one of those where because it's a system, right? The all YAP is a system. The top YAP is a system. So it's one of those where you could hand this 52-week plan, and give it to an assistant who also maybe has a passion for event coordination, which a lot of them do. There's tons of people who have a passion for actually coordinating these events, and have them essentially run this plan for you, telling you which weeks that you need to maybe do a video. You could actually record all the videos at one time for all 3 of the events, right? Because you're planned ahead, and you could actually reuse the same video over and over again every year, though it's 3 minutes, right? But the bottom line is that we need to communicate in the way that people on the other end will receive it the best, right? Which has been done so wrong for so long in this industry by a lot of people. I'm not saying everybody, but it's like, what is the number one reason to communicate with everybody? It is an invitation to an event or to follow up from an event.
I love it. I love it, Michael. Well, this has been brilliant, buddy. So I'm going to put that list, 52-week plan on hibandigital.com/party. Yeah. I'm also going to put it in the in the Real Estate Rockstars toolbox, which could be found on hibandigital.com/toolbox, or you could just text toolbox to 444-999. Also, I'm going to put all of Michael's information. You want to reach out to him about his coaching products, any information, any things he's got going on will all be on hibandigital.com/party. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy day today, my friend.
Oh, it's absolutely my pleasure. Thanks for all you're doing with Rebus. Thanks for all you're doing with GoBundance. Thanks for all you're doing with everything, man. I so appreciate you, and it's one of those where it's a blessing. It truly is to have you as a relationship in my life, and I'm here to help, whatever I can do.
Thank you, sir. We'll get together soon. Thank you for watching Real Estate Rockstars. Please give us a review wherever you're watching or wherever you're listening. We eat feedback for breakfast, and I don't care whether you give me a 1-star review or a 5-star review. I just want the review. I want to know what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong. Would love to improve things. Hey, and listen, please subscribe. The more subscribers we get and the more reviews we get, the better guests we'll get for you in the future. Feel free to reach out to me anywhere on social media. Just type in my name. I'm everywhere, and I look forward to meeting you in the digital world. Have a great day, and thanks again for listening to Real Estate Rockstars.